Media.
Welcome back to Ignyte Your podcast. I'm your host, Austin T. Gullett, and we're here to have genuine conversations with authentic people to help amplify their voice and figure out what ignites their why. I'm super excited for today's guest. We have a returning guest. We are doing a Where Are They Now episode with one of my favorite guests of all time, Miss Erica Almquist. Erica, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so well, and also you're so cute, and I love your shirt. I know I just said that a second ago, but I'm looking at it again, like it's cute. But oh my gosh, thanks for having me back. That's surprising that you're like, we want her back.
I loved our episode. I think it was just so bubbly and so fun. I think it was just a good episode. I love going back to it. If people want to go listen to it, it is episode 7.3, Power of Vulnerability and Pursuing Passion. It is from season 7. So make sure you go back and check it out before you listen to this one. Or if you don't want to, you can just listen to this one. Whatever you choose.
No judgment. That's totally, this might be enough of Erica for them, honestly. I get it.
So it's been over a year since we last spoke, which is kind of crazy. I'm not like spoke on the podcast. We've always spoke in between then, but the people haven't heard from you in a year and a half. So what's been going on with Erica? What's new?
Oh my gosh, so much. I feel like we chatted right when I was on the brink of a lot of different changes going on in my life, which is really exciting, but also so scary to look back on because I was a baby, and that's totally fine. But basically, I went through an entire rebrand of self and my brand and photography and even with music. So with that rebrand, it came with a lot of I realized, listen, the black hair is really, it's part of me. Okay. I did this when I was in Korea and my parents were haters, and you know what? It's back and it's shorter, and now we have bangs. And you know what? We're vibing. All right. We love it. So I realized with photography too, I had to cut out a large majority of the services I was offering because I can't do family pictures. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't do it. Can't do lifestyle. So now I just do products, brands, fashion. That's it. That's all I know. And then with music, I've just been really honing in on being seen as an artist, as a music artist. And so that has been my 2024 and most of my 2025. I will say I'm kind of tilting a little more towards the music side these days and kind of focusing more on that. But yeah, lots of changes, but all good things. So happy to report that.
I think it's just funny because I've watched your journey kind of unfold on social media. And I remember when we had our original conversation, you were deep into photography. That's all it was. And then I remember maybe about a couple months after our episode, you just kind of were like, okay, yep, I'm done. And I was like, no, what is going on? But then I understand the process because it's sometimes we just overwork ourselves to where we get burnt out, and then it just life be lifing.
Yeah.
And shit be hitting the fan over here in this aspect of your life, and aspect of your life is crazy. So you're just trying to figure it all out and put it all together. So I completely understand because I had to take a break from this podcast, even though I love it so much. It started to feel like a job, if that makes sense. And when you are doing something you love and it starts to feel like a job, it's just no longer fun. And it's just all right, let's take a step back. Let's rewind and
I feel like that's really healthy.
It is, but it's when you look back, you're just damn, it's kind of depressing. I let this get to a point, because
I'm starting to laugh, but I'm just that's very relatable,
because you let it get to that point. And I think it's just finding that balance. And I think that's growing up is figuring out how to adult.
Yeah.
Adulting is terrible. I don't like it.
It's so hard. And that was one thing that I finally was just listen, When I'm tired, I'm not going to go to the gym and like tire myself out even further. I'm not going to sit there and edit 10 million photos. I'm going to take the damn break. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take the break, you know?
Period.
And that was honestly, that was the biggest game changer for me, was just
Hmm.
realizing that sometimes you need a break, and that's part of the process, and that's okay.
And I think that's the biggest growth part of everything is like knowing it's okay to take a break and you're not on other people's timetables. Like it's yours. Yes, like you want to get the product turned around in a decent time, but if you're burning yourself out, like the quality of work is just not going to be there.
So true.
I am trying to remind myself all the time now because my job is so demanding that I'm just like, okay, take time for yourself. Like, do something for
Amen.
you. And that's why I brought this podcast back, because this is a time where I disassociate from everything that's going on, like outside of like
That's
my like
beautiful.
work. Like, I don't focus on it. I don't do anything about it. It's just I'm connecting with who I'm with, and if it's me,
Yes.
it's me. If it's a guest, it's a guest. But that's the time. And I want to hit on this gym part because people always say, like, the gym is just like, you should go work out. It will clear your mind. I don't have the energy. Like, I don't have the energy to go run. I don't have the energy to go walk on a treadmill. I just don't have it.
Oh my gosh, I think that's very relatable, you know? I think like adding just another thing onto your plate also then makes it like, oh gosh, here we
Yeah.
go. Got another thing
Because
to do.
people like just go in the morning. No, I would rather sleep.
Oh,
I would
yes.
rather I would rather sleep than wake up and go to the gym. And like I
Yes.
don't have the energy to go after work because like I'm just exhausted. So it's just like,
That's fair.
do I sacrifice not getting sleep and go to the gym, or do I just not go to the gym and stay fat? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I will say, like, for me, myself, I know that, like, I have to have working out a part of my at least semi daily
Mhm.
routine because it really, for me, it's like, it helps a lot with my mental health. And so I realized that I do have to make sure that that's a part of my life, like movement. I don't know. It might be like my body type or my genetics or something, where I know some people lean more towards, I need to watch my TV show. I need my bag of Cheetos. And you know what? Mad respect. I love that. But I know for me, I'm just like, when I'm on my health journey and I'm like eating right, eating the foods that I like, but are still giving me
Mhm.
like all that I need, and I'm going and hitting up my little treadmill, like watching my favorite show, you know, that is what has helped a lot to like stabilize my moods and stuff. And I know
Mhm.
it sounds really like really like are you sure, but like it really does help me at least, but yeah, that's part of
And there's nothing wrong with
my
that.
day.
I think I could get back into fitness if I just really carved out the time. But I think the
Mm,
thing for me is it's just like the motivation thing. I still get like anxiety going to certain places by myself. So like going to the gym
that's
alone
real.
it gives me anxiety. Going to church by myself gives me anxiety. So it's just like little things of just like I make excuses if I'm calling myself out like I do, but it's also just one of those things where I just feel where I'm at right now, I just overwork myself to a point where
Hmm.
my body's just like, rest. That's what you need.
And that's what you need right now in this season. You know what? That might not be the same thing in your next season of life. You know, you could just wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm going to the gym. Or you could wake up and be like, I'm not. I'm still not doing that. You know, like it just depends on like wherever you're at in life. So, I mean, I respect you a lot for like what you do. And we were talking about this a lot before we pressed record. It's just being a teacher, a coach. I think it's really important that you take your me time because
Hmm.
that requires a lot of your energy. Like, I just all the respect to you.
Yeah, and I think the thing with like the profession I'm in, like even though like I work with sports, I'm always working with student athletes, and it's just you put so much into it because I care about the kids so much. I think that's the
Hmm.
thing is I just want these kids to have the best future they can possibly have and give them the resources they need to be successful. But it can be exhausting to a point knowing that like I can't save every child.
Right.
And I think that's the heartbreaking thing is like you want to be able to give them what they need, but
Mhm.
when you take that step back and you're just like, I can want this for them as much as I want, but if they don't want it for themselves, like nothing is gonna come from that. But I
But I
appreciate
think
the
that
kind words.
that translates into like a lot of different areas of life as
Hmm.
well. Sometimes I'll look at people at work. I got a new job. I work in marketing for a law firm now. And sometimes you look at people that you work with, even, and you're just like, if you just applied yourself a little bit, or you just did something slightly different, like you could, oh my gosh, you could do all these different things. And I
Yeah.
feel that way a lot about different artists that I'm friends with, where I'm just like, if you just thought a little bit about the business side, you would kill it. You would crush it. So I get that to some
Yeah.
degree. I don't work with children, but
It's a
I
people
feel
thing.
like very
It's a people
universal.
thing. It's not a kid
Yeah.
thing. It's a people thing because I feel like there's always gonna be something in life where like even ourselves, like we do it all the time. It's just like people are trying to like give us advice or guide us and you're kind of that stubborn person where you're just like, no, I got it. But in reality, it's just like if you humble
Me.
yourself a little bit, like it's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I could do this differently. I could do this better.
Yeah.
So I
100%.
do have a question for you, just because like
Hmm.
I'm curious. Because what was it about photography that made you say like, okay, I can no longer do this? And what was the focus point to say like, okay, I want to focus more on the music side of things instead of photography? Because I know the last time we spoke, you were glowing about photography and it was just your pride and joy. So I'm curious of where that switch was.
Well, it's still a big part of my life and it's still a source of income for me. But that switch kind of came when I realized that my true passion in life is music. It always has been. And I think I was hiding behind photography because you're behind the camera a lot of the time.
Hmm.
So I didn't have to be front and center and I didn't have to be seen so much by people. And so I really liked that aspect of photography for a long time because it kept me comfortable and it kept me safe in what I know, how I was raised. It was
Hmm.
like you don't rock the boat too much, you don't talk about yourself too much. And so I was like, I had this, I don't know when it happened, but I had this switch where I was sitting by this lake and I was looking over the lake and I had just like tried to work with this producer on some of my songs and it was not working out. And then my other producer friend was like, listen, I actually don't want to help you with your music. And I was like, oh my God, yay. So, but then I like had this moment sitting by the lake and I'm just like, why don't I just do it myself? Like, why don't I just like take the
Hmm.
reins and I be comfortable with like the fact that I do produce, I do compose, I write, I do it all. Why don't I just become comfortable with that? And, I just do this thing. And then still sitting by the water, I realized, oh my gosh, you know what I really don't want to ever do is take a picture of a high school graduation shoot ever again. Like that's a beautiful moment, but it's doesn't get me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So once I had that realization that it's like, okay, it's time to level up. It's time to be okay with myself and it's time to
Hmm.
be kind of proud of me. And I have an important story to tell that's
Period.
different from photography. So, and like this project that I'm about to release is deeply vulnerable and deeply emotional while also being a little messy, like it's okay. It is what it is. So I think, sorry, that long random answer just to say I'm just ready to be seen. Like that is really just the bottom line is like I started there like a new therapist this year who I just really vibe with and like she just calls me out and it's just like you need
As
to do
she
the work.
should. As she should.
Exactly. Yes, cuz I think we can all be a little toxic to ourselves, to people around us. It's
Facts.
okay. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, so I came out of the womb ready to hurt people, and the problem is we can't do that. We have to be nice to people.
That is hilarious. Are you big on horoscopes?
Not really, but I have a lot of fun with it because like I'm just like, yeah, like my moon is in Taurus, so I really get along with Taurus, I think. I don't know. I like food, so I'm just like
What's my sign?
I have no idea, honestly. I feel like you could be a Taurus because you're
I
like
am a
really.
Taurus.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. That I'm not gonna say
It
it makes
lines
sense,
up
but
on
it
why we
does.
vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Gabby made her appearance today. So
Gabby,
if you're
hello. Oh,
watching
she
this
can't
on
hear me.
YouTube, this is Gabby. she's a
Miss
little
Queen.
she's a little needy right
Ooh,
now.
what a diva. Love.
But I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's the power of saying no, right?
Hmm.
I think before, like, you kind of were just like doing this of like, yes, yes, yes. Like, I'm just trying to build my photography brand. I'm trying to do what I think is appropriate and what is right.
Hmm.
And I think that's just growth on your end, is just like, no, this is the avenue I see myself going. This is the photography that I enjoy. And I couldn't
Hmm.
imagine doing family photos. This might be contradicting, but I just feel like dealing with little kids, and them crying and not wanting to take pictures and trying to get them to smile, I just don't have the energy for that.
I don't have a nurturing bone in my body, so I'm just like, just pose. And they're like, oh, mommy, scary woman. I'm like, okay, I cannot do this.
That's hilarious. No, I just don't think I have the energy for it, because it's just like, I never wanted to work with kids that young. I just
Hmm.
always felt like my niche was like middle school, like fourth, fifth grade and up. Like, you got to be at least 10 in the double digits.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe a 9-year-old I can get by, maybe an 8-year-old, but
Oh, but
anything other than
younger?
that.
Oh, that's when it gets hairy. Like it's a lot of
Mm.
crying, and I'm like, I don't know how to read. I'm just not around a lot of younger children. Like my sister doesn't have any children, so it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk to them either because I just talk to them like they're adults, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I don't
It's like
know.
you feel like you have to like code switch to talk to them, and it's
Mm.
just like, I don't have energy for that. Like, if you just don't do what you need to do, like, come on now. So I can understand the family portraits. Just don't. I just wouldn't have the energy for it myself, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, but I also think that's a good business practice. And I think that's something that a lot of photographers struggle with is just like we get to a point where we're doing everything that
Hmm.
we're not really good at a certain niche. And so once you hone in on that thing that you really like, that really ignites your why, bring it full circle. Once you hone in on that and you like really master it, and this is something that I hear. I do a lot of video work for the law firm that I work for. And I ask them a lot of our attorneys, okay, so what advice would you give to somebody? And they always say, become an expert in your field, in your
Mm.
craft, in your practice area. And I took that very literally. And I was like, okay, I need to become the best fashion photographer, the best product photographer. Listen, I'm not going to be a good wedding photographer. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to be complaining by the end of the day. I'm going to be like, where's my plate of food? Like, it's not for me, and that's okay. That's all
Yeah.
right. So once I realized that I just need to focus on what I do best, that's when I saw the most growth. And I saw it the most in my taxes this year. And that sucked. I'm not going to lie. But also, it was kind of like reaffirming that I might be doing something right here, you know?
Hey, I'm proud of you. And I think that's the whole thing, is like, I can see the growth. I can see you just feel more confident in like the work you're
Mhm.
doing, and like just the way you're speaking. You just feel more confident in your decisions and who you are. And I think that's the beautiful thing. I know you have this EP coming out. If you're listening to this right now, it comes out this Friday. Because
Actually,
this
it's May
episode,
16th. My bad. So next
it's your episode's coming out
2 weeks.
well, your
Oh,
episode's
my
coming
bad.
out on
My
the
bad. Everybody, it's coming out this week, this Friday. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Oh my God.
Your episode's
Oops.
not coming out this Monday. It's next Monday.
Okay. Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
planned
what
it.
he said.
I planned it for you. I lined it up so like we could have this beautiful moment. But
He's got my back. I'm just
so
dumb. Everybody.
rewind. If you're listening to this right now, her EP Salty is coming
Okay.
out this Friday, May 16th. And if you're listening to this after May 16th, go check it out. So tell us about this EP, Salty. I just love doing that.
Ooh.
Salty.
Oh my gosh. I just need to make that like a thing for this whole marketing period of it. But Salty, wow, where do I even start? I released the first song in 2022 and we did a whole lot of it, a whole lot of promo. We did a music video and I released it with the one, the only, the Lindsay Tapman. Yes.
I
And she
love
was the,
Lindsay.
oh my gosh. I'm so excited to like see her again. She's coming into town next week. Side note. But basically, we worked on this song. We were sitting outside on her porch, and we've got like two like Rheingeist beers. I think they were like bubblies or something. It was crazy. And I still have like the voice memos. And I include a voice memo in the first official song of us working on the song, and it's a nice transition into Salty.
Mm-hmm.
And so, basically we're sitting on this porch and we're just like riffing and saying weird things and like trying to write this song, and that's included in there, so you will hear that. I don't really know where I was going with that, but basically Salty the EP follows the story of me in my 20s, dating, coming across some narcissistic gentlemen. And I'm realizing that the narcissistic, I would say, pandemic at this point is really going strong, and I'm meeting a lot more people that are kind of encountering this personality disorder, and but also they're meeting just people who are not maybe the best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what this project is all about, and it has an undertone of being like young and immature, and it's a little whiny at times. And so I wrote it in that purpose because I've never allowed myself to be young and immature. I've always felt like I need to hold myself to such a high standard. I'm so mature. You know what? Sometimes I'm not mature. Sometimes I'm whining about this guy who, like, I literally begged this man to, like, not break up with me. Like, what?
Whoa.
I know. I'm like, I can't even imagine nowadays going to somebody's dusty son and being like, please don't break up with me.
Not dusty. I'm dead.
Oh, he was so dusty too. Oh my gosh, Austin, not okay. Oh my gosh. It was a whole thing.
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
There's also, on this EP, I talk about like a funny man, a heinous joker. So I went through a phase where I thought that I could date comedians. And the problem with that is that comedians are funny because they have so much trauma. Listen, I have so much trauma, so I totally get that. But, I will never date a comedian again because those bitches are crazy. I'm so sorry. If you're a comedian and you're listening to this, I love you. But also, I'm not going to date you.
Can they really take stuff seriously? Like, that's how I feel about comedians. But I am excited for this album. I love messy. I love drama, as long as I'm not included in it.
Same. Me being the center of the drama, but also being like, I don't want to be involved.
Am I the drama? What is that?
Am I? No way. I am definitely not the source of it, but that's okay.
That is hilarious. No, I've been like following your journey and I'm like super excited for this. And I've been seeing your little covers of like your Christmas songs. And by the way, killed them. Like, you killed them.
We had so much fun. I think that's also the exciting part, was like this Christmas, I was like, I need to collaborate with people. Like, that's what art is all about. We need to like, create something with real people. And so I hit up all of my like favorite people, and they were surprisingly like, yes. I mean, I made my rapper friend Justin, J-Diz is his name, which is like iconic, and I was like, can you sing? And he was like, I guess. And then he did it, and it was everything. But please go listen to his rapping too.
Look at you being a plug. And I think the thing is just you made him step out of his comfort zone. And it was really good. I remember that one. And it's just those things where like you have to, I feel like you have to collaborate with people in order to truly grow, in my sense.
100%.
Because it's like when you're working with other people or talking to other people, you can just pick their brain and find out different like niches that they do, or maybe something you can like steal.
Yeah,
Because I think that's the
100%.
thing. Knowledge is power. And I don't know everything. I would love to connect with other podcasters to kind of figure out, like, what do you do? How do you set your stuff up and things of that nature? Like, I'm always trying to find ways to improve. And I think that's what you get when you collaborate. And also, the biggest part of collaborating for me is just the exposure you get, right? Because, like, for instance, this podcast, like, when you share it, it's going to your entire friends, your fans, your friend group, whatever it is. Like, and I don't have that connection. Like, I can't,
Mm.
like, I could reach your group if I like put in like 24 hours a day of work and just like push it the way it needs to. But I think word of mouth goes a long way. And I tell people all the time, is just a simple share, a simple comment goes a long way. So I appreciate you always sharing and commenting on my stuff. It means a lot to me. I try to do the same when I see your stuff as well. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just supporting people, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting small businesses, supporting local artists. I think that's the biggest thing, is the only way we can really see each other win is by supporting each other. So I appreciate it.
Yes, I think the people that are like, there's not enough room for everybody, I think that they're so pessimistic and so not able to see that the world is actually so
Huge,
big. It's huge, and there is a place
huge.
for everybody. You know, like the pie is not like, the pie doesn't just like, you know, they
Mhm.
always say it's like a pie and everybody gets a slice of the pie. I don't really like that, because it's just like, then it means that it's like, it's kind of, I think there are infinite possibilities. And with that, it's just like, so it just condenses everybody down
Yeah,
into like, you only get this much. And I just don't agree with that. And so I've been trying to work, like
you
really
get what
reach
you
out to
put in.
people.
You get what you put
Exactly.
in. If you want
Yes.
more, you're going to put more work in. If you don't want more, you're going to be stagnant. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think in the society we live in, people think it's, I have to be this famous ass person like a Demi Lovato or Selena
Oh.
Gomez or a Beyonce, or just these big podcasters who are sponsored by big ass companies, which is why their shit gets pushed out the way it does. It's like, you don't have to be super famous to be successful. And I think that's the thing, is like, we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, because this sexy highlight reel we see on social media of other people doing all these successful things. And like, I have this conversation all the time, is like, you have to respect the journey, because everyone's journey is different. Your journey is going to look completely different from mine. Mine's going to look completely different from someone else's. But it comes down to, is like, we can't continue to compare ourselves to these people who have like thousands and millions of followers, because you can get to that point. Yes, it's possible. Is it going to take work? Absolutely. But I think it also comes down to networking, collaborating with those people, networking with those people, reaching out to people, finding mentors. And I think that's the thing, is you have to ask the questions. It's like, if you want to collaborate with a specific person, the only way you're going to find out if you can do that is if you reach out to that person. You want to have a specific
100%.
guest, like, you have to be willing to shoot your shot. Like,
Yeah.
and you're not going to make every shot you take. So keep on shooting.
Yes. And the funny part about all that, I used to get a lot of product work through a certain website, and that website shut down randomly one day. It was a whole thing, and I lost all of my, like, it was basically a nice creative agency that like did all of the invoicing and stuff for you. So when I lost that, I had to refine the art of the cold pitch. And since doing that, I've gotten a lot of rejection, a lot of no's, but you have to be comfortable with the no. And you also, if the worst thing somebody tells you is no, it's like, okay, I can take
Okay.
that, you know? So, there's that. And then you also said something about mentors, and I'm really lucky because I have probably the world's best mentor, which is Paul Moran. I'm shouting you out, Paul Moran, because he is my current boss. And he has been completely instrumental in the way that I even just talk to people, because he's so good with people, and he's also very knowledgeable about marketing in a different way. So I've been really lucky to get to like work with him, because we are both very creative people. He was in music and was kind of a big deal in the whole rock world in the 90s. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to hear his experiences. I just feel Like, God will put the right people in your life. He will make it happen. And I think what's really telling is like at the time that we last chatted, I actually was working for a candy company that I really hated. It was really bad. It was so bad. But, it was...
It worked. It made you survive during that time.
I was really lucky because it got me to where I'm at now. Even though there were times where I was like sitting in my little cubicle and like looking up and just like sobbing. Like I would just be crying.
I don't want to be here right now.
It was horrible. Oh my gosh. Like a cubicle is where artists go to die. I truly, oh my gosh. And like to be in a situation now where I don't have to be in my cubicle all day. Like also, like I can just run down to a coffee shop and work, or like I can take a walk randomly and come back and get more things done if I want to. I can work anywhere.
That is the blessing.
Oh, it's the biggest.
You have a freedom like that to kind of just do and work where you need to work. I would hate to be in an office all day long just because my ADHD would not allow it. I would just be like,
oh my gosh.
So I don't blame you. And I think it's just a beautiful thing that you get to do what you're doing now, and you can see the happiness, the radiance, and you're glowing, and that's amazing. Mentors are so important, like you said, and I'm glad you have that person for you, and you can have a mentor in many aspects of life. And I think that's why I got into mentoring. I still talk to my mentor from high school. I still talk to my mentee that I mentored throughout his life. He just turned 20, which makes me feel really
old. My gosh. Oh, yeah. I would cry. I'd be like, "Oh no!"
Like I was like, I met you when you were 9, and you're now like this.
Oh my gosh!
Adult. Like it's kind of weird. I feel old.
Oh, but that's so beautiful, though, to see, especially see their growth and be a part of that.
To watch him be like this little 5th grader who was really shy when I first met him, to now just like seeing him as an adult, like he's going into his junior year of college, and it's exciting. I love that kid to death. That is like my own kid. Like, let's be real.
Oh my gosh. What's his name? Can we say his name?
Everyone knows Javier. Yes, everyone knows Javier. Mr. Javier Ward. One time I asked him to be on this podcast, and he was like, I don't know what I would talk about. And I was just like, all right.
You can talk about how great I am as a mentor. Like, what?
No, don't do that. I hate like the crazy thing is I hate when people like talk about me in that sense. It's just like I'm like very humble. I'm not a very humble person, so when people are like gassing me up, I'm just like, oh, thanks.
I don't know how to receive it.
I just smile. I'm just like, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so awkward.
Yeah, I know. Like, at least you're not standing there just like, yeah, that's me. That would be really annoying.
Super
like,
arrogant. So, like, yep, I'm him. Yeah. I'm him.
I am that guy. Mic drop. Like, oh my gosh, people would be like, oh, that's interesting.
This is your role model.
You sure you don't want a different one? Like, what?
He seems like an asshole.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we should bring out Javier. He's got to be on.
Hit his DMs up.
I'm gonna stalk him. I'm gonna find him. I don't know his Instagram handle, but some crazy lady named Erica is gonna find him. It's gonna be like, what? Oh, poor Javier.
I love Javi to death. He's transferring, so he'll be home. So like we'll probably get to hang out a little bit more because he was going to school at Kent State. So
wow.
He played basketball for 2 years, and he's gonna transfer to NKU and finish out his degree. So I'm excited for him. I think he has a vision, he has a plan, and I'm here to support it all the way. And I think the biggest thing is I can see the maturity in him, if that makes sense. And I think that's just the beautiful thing, is just seeing him hone in on his future and him making the decisions for himself. Like, no one's making these decisions for you. And like I told people, I was like, I'm going to support whatever decision he wants to make. If he thinks it's time to stop playing college basketball, then that's his decision. Like, I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. Like, some people might not agree with it, some people might, and I think the only person that knows what's best for Javier is Javier, and I'm going to support whatever decision he makes, and he's always going to have me in his corner. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's just, you got to support people where they need you.
gosh. How did you learn to like be a good mentor? Like how did you learn to
My mentor,
mentor?
my
That's
mentor,
wonderful.
because I had a mentor, which Tom Hacker, shout out to Tom.
Let's go,
I
Tom.
I literally tell people all the time, like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without him. Like, he was my soccer coach in high school, and my senior year, he asked if I wanted a mentor, and from there, it was like history. Just like when I graduated, like high school, like it didn't stop, and he just showed unconditional love and was there to support me in every single aspect of life, whether it was throughout college, through relationships, through breakups, through anything. Like I could call him at any time of the day and like he'll answer. And I think that's the biggest thing is like he showed me like what it is to be a positive like influence, and his passion for kids and the work he does throughout the community is just super inspiring. And I think it's just one of those things where when you surround yourself by good people, like those characteristics and those qualities rub off on you. And I tell people all the time is just surround yourself with good people and you're going to be a good person, because the more you spend time with them and the more you talk to them, like you kind of pick up on like a different way of thinking. I think that's the thing is like when you're going through hard times and you have someone there to kind of confide in and talk to, like they can help you navigate through that. He's he's not my therapist, because my therapist serves in a different capacity, but like there's just certain things where it's just like, okay, I'm going to Tom for this. And it's just like,
Yeah.
and I know he's going to be there. And I think that's the biggest thing is like, I remember like when I made Dean's List my freshman year of college, like they took me to dinner, like, and I was just to celebrate, because like those are like the little things that matter. It's just like you're doing something great and you're acknowledging that, and I think that's the most important thing. Is just he paved a way to show me like what a good mentor is, and I just took that over to like with Javier. Was it difficult in the beginning? Absolutely, because I started mentoring Javier when I was 18, 19. Like we're 9 years apart, like so like you can imagine like I have a 9-year-old here and I'm 18, so like I don't truly like know like life at the moment, so like it's kind of like we kind of grew up together, right? And
Well,
like
that's beautiful. I was going to say that's like a baby leading a baby, but but no, I think that's really beautiful because, like you said, you can just kind of grow together and kind of
mhm.
figure it out. And
Like he got to watch me like
that's
navigate
beautiful.
college and like job, and like just seeing me like like really like fresh out of high school, like I just was like, this is what I want to do. And it was just one of those things where Javier was a trip when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh.
I remember I was dating this girl, Danielle, and he was a fifth grader. And he would like take my phone and just be like, I love you. And like, it was just
Oh my gosh.
messy. He was a messy kid. That's what he was.
Very naughty, but it probably helped your like case a little bit with Danielle. She was probably like, be mentors. Ooh, that's cute or whatever.
But it didn't last. So
Oh, well, maybe that's a reflection on Danielle. Maybe she just kind of sucked. I'm sorry, Danielle, but I'm
no, we're not
sure
going to
she's
say
great
that.
now.
She's a
Well, I'm sure
great,
she's great now.
no, like we didn't end on bad terms. And I think that's the thing. Like
Good.
Danielle is like thriving in life,
Oh,
and
we
like
love Danielle.
she is still like, I would consider her a friend still. Like if we talk,
Oh,
like it wouldn't be
yay.
awkward. So like there's no bad blood in between there. Like it was just one of those things where we were just growing in different directions, and
Yeah.
like we kind of like felt it, and we're just like, yeah, like
Yeah.
it was like a mutual thing. Like we were like, okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm
Like
really sorry,
no,
Danielle. I
no
was
bad
just
blood.
joking. I was joking
Danielle's
around.
great. I love her
We love
family.
you,
Like
Danielle.
yeah, like her family is super cool. Like there's
Oh.
no like no bad blood.
Oh,
So
I love that. And I love to hear that
yeah,
because, sometimes it really is just that case. You kind of outgrow each other in a way, or you need to move away from each other in order to grow.
yeah.
So that's really beautiful, though. And I'm glad that you all have stayed in touch. I love that.
I don't say we talk. I'm kidding, but like
You're
I
like,
mean
wait a
like
minute.
I can tell her happy birthday and like things are cool. But I
Oh,
think that's the thing is just like we're like at the time like we were just in completely different aspects of our life, and
yeah.
she's thriving. Like she's in a beautiful relationship and they're having their first kid, and I'm happy for them. So I think that
Yay! Oh my gosh, I love a happy ending. My gosh, that's great.
That's the beautiful thing of life, and I think it's just like the maturity where it's just
Mm.
like we didn't do anything to hurt each other. Like it was just
Oh,
yeah. So enough about me. Like
I love
this
that.
episode is not about me, Erica.
Oh, I don't know. I just like to hear about your life. Your life is so interesting though. I love it.
No, but I do appreciate you just taking the time out of your day to hop back on. I think we always have interesting conversations that just go in many different directions and people just get to see our lives. So I think that's the beautiful thing. It's just we're just open.
I agree. And the last thing I'll say is you also touched on networking, and that's
Hmm.
been a big part of my life this year is just getting involved with meeting other creatives. I'll have to send you this afterwards, but there's the Cincy Creative Collab group that was started by Ali Martin and Haley. Why am I blanking on her last name? I think it's Bollinger. Phenomenal photographer. And then Ali is just like this Cincinnati personality who's just
Hmm.
incredible. And they have created this little group of people. And by little, I mean 50 or 60 people show up to these. And it's just some of the best creative people you'll meet. And I'm not gonna lie, I've met some of new friends there, which
Hmm.
is I mean, I went up to this photographer's studio in Hamilton last week, and she was just this light, this I couldn't believe it. And just sitting and talking with these people, and they all have really unique experiences and talents. I think you would really thrive, and you find so many people for your podcast. Okay, I'm going to send this to you afterwards. I promise. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
Okay, don't forget because some people will be like, "I'm gonna do this," and then they don't.
No, that's the one thing I'm annoying because I'm a planner and a doer. So I'm as soon as this ends, I'm just gonna be here are all the links. So it's gonna be
I'm
great.
dead. I'm weak. Thank you. You know, I love connecting with people and I'm always looking for guests on this podcast. So if you ever know anyone, send them my way. I do have a couple of your friends who should be on the podcast. I'm not going to tell you who,
Ooh.
but yes, I've reached out to a few of them and we're still trying to coordinate times to record. So be on the lookout for those.
Okay. I'm excited.
But I do want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day just to hop on and catch up. It's been a highlight of my day. It's a great way
Hey,
to start my morning. I think it's a good way to go into this beautiful day it's going to be. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going
finally.
to
I
say
hope
it's going to be
so.
beautiful.
No
Uh,
more
I,
rain.
if there's anyone that wants to reach out to you just to talk about anything that we talked about today, to learn more about your photography, or if they just want to find your music, what's the best way they can get a hold of you or find you?
I would say, well, Instagram is always a good one. I do have two Instagram accounts, and they will be linked somewhere because they're mouthfuls, and it's also hard to spell my last name. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll find those in the bio or somewhere. But then, if you just want to make it easy on yourself, it's just ericaalmquist.com. You're gonna find my photography, you're gonna find my music, and you're gonna find my emails. There are lots of emails, but I check all of them on the daily. So if you'd like to find me there, it's super easy. But I'd love to connect with anybody. So just hit me up.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And as she said, I will put all the information in the description below. If you guys happen to reach out to her, please just make sure you know how you found her. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you all for listening in. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that post notification bell on so you never miss an episode. And make sure you give us a follow on all social media platforms. It's at Ignyte Your Why. We are on every single platform. That's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. You name it, we are there. So hit us up. I appreciate you guys for listening. I love you guys. Always remember, find your purpose, ignite your why, and I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.